The hair that I got going on right now is giving me Gwen Stefani from No Doubt. For some reason. It was definitely a look. Basically, I'm trying to curl my hair without a curling iron. We'll find out later if it works. I was perusing e.l.f.'s website the other day, and by the other day I mean like 2 months ago. And I came across this palette, and I could be wrong, but I don't remember these ever being advertised. But it's an 80's vibes palette. And I obviously had to get it. I mean, look at it. And also, obviously, that means I gotta do an 80's makeup look with it. I've always wanted to try like iconic makeup from like every decade. So apparently we're starting with the 80's. I do also have a 70's one, hopefully coming soon. Yeah, so that's what I'm going for. I even purchased scrunchies. I purchased scrunchies for this. A whole slew of them. For now, we're gonna get started on the face. And for that, I am going to start off with sunscreen. This is the Missha Aqua Sun Gel, SPF 50 PA, 1000 pluses. Whoa, whoa. I think I need a little more. This is not part of the like 80's theme, but it is kind of an important step, so it's got quite the fragrance to it, don't it? This is my first time using this, by the way. I did not expect such a scent. Anywho, feels nice. So there's that. In a lot of the 80's inspo photos that I've been looking up in preparation for this video, I noticed that in many of the photos, the face is quite cool toned, and it could just be the specific photos that I found. I obviously wasn't I wasn't there for the 80's to actually witness the makeup trends myself, but from what I can find online, kind of a trend was, I don't know if it was popularized by Cyndi Lauper. From what I can tell, there was a period of time where the makeup trend was having your face makeup be a little bit lighter than your neck and the rest of you. I'm pretty pale already, but what I do have is this guy from Missha. This is the Perfect Cover BB cream in number 13. So another thing in the 80's obviously was their lack of shade range and undertone options. Makeup wasn't nearly, well, makeup was big, but they didn't have the options in undertone and shade range that we do today. So a lot of the makeup was a little more pink in undertone a lot of the time. So I'm going to be putting this on my face. There we go. I don't know if you can tell, but it is, well, maybe not too cool toned. I may have been mistaken on that. I think I'm remembering wrong. More, more, more. I probably should have color corrected first because it is a 80's makeup look, so I will be going in with like a lot of blush. So color correcting probably should have been a thing that I did. Oh well. Going in with a second layer of spackle. jeez. I'm also trying my my best to cover up the, don't know if you can see it, but there's like a giant planet of a zit that has decided to make itself at home on my face, and like it's taking forever to go away. It's one of those really like painful ones that starts deep down under the skin and just like rah, sticks around for frickin' ever. Don't you hate those? I do. Hopefully I can spackle enough of this on that calm down. Don't know if you can tell on camera, but this is like my face makeup is a little pinky compared to my neck here. Anywho, there that is. Next step is concealer. And I don't know if concealer was like a big thing in the 80s, but in quite a few of the pictures that I used as inspiration for this, the under eye area was like really bright and was actually quite a bit lighter than the rest of the face makeup. So enter Colourpop No Filter Concealer that I bought in the wrong shade. This is Fair 02, I think. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that on just to brighten. I think I'm gonna put a little around my mouth as well, because that area tends to be a bit darker. Yeah. And a little bit out there. Yeah. Right there. Right there. This concealer doesn't seem to like mixing with my Missha BB cream. Well, that's nice. Next, I am going to cake my entire face in powder. And the reason being is that in every single picture that I saw, everyone's face was matte. I did not see any dew whatsoever. I did not see any reflection off of anybody's skin at all. So I get the feeling a lot of powder was used. I'm going to be using the Rude Cosmetics Stop the Pressed powder in the shade Porcelain. If I'm correct, yeah! They have supplied a little puff underneath there. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this puff because that's what the folks in the 80s would have used. Whoa! Let's kick back on that, baby. Alright, let's go in with some powder. I do not want to see a single shiny spot. I can't remember the last time I was this powdered up. A little more under the eyes. We want them to look nice and crepey. Oh yeah. Dew, shininess, moist skin. Who is she? Bring on the powder. Okay, base makeup is pretty much done. Now I'm gonna go on to the eyes before I finish off the rest of the like blush and stuff. Now I'm going to dig into this bad boy. I'm thinking of using mostly these two, maybe a little bit of this one, because these three are like they're calling to me the strongest. The purple too is nice. I might use that. I'm gonna swatch them for you quick, just because I want to, because I won't be using all the colors, but I want to look at them. Okay, so I'm gonna start from here and work my way down to the purple. So first is this pearly white color. Like the pigment is not like it doesn't show up white, but that's definitely pearly. Then that, like, bright gold shade. It's so pretty, though. Now the pink. That pink is like, oh! Look at the pink. Like, I don't even know if it's gonna come off on camera. I don't know, it's almost got like a sheen of frosted purple over the top. Like the base is pink, and a lot of the shimmer is pink, but there's just like the slightest hint of purple in like the shimmer. The light blue is one of those next. Yes! There's the light blue. Beautiful. Here's the dark blue. And I'm just gonna do the last one down here, I guess. That shimmery purple. Whoa, that's sparkly. Ooh. It looks a lot more impressive in person, but there's like multicolored, are you focused? There's like multicolored sparkles in there. Dude. In the pan, it looks like just purple, but on my hand, I don't know if camera will pick it up, but when I turn my hand, see it's purple? When I turn my hand, it turns like grayish charcoal. Is that just me? Is that just my eyes playing tricks? Purple, gray, purple, gray. Neat. Neato, man. I think I'm gonna mix this with this to create more of like a baby blue. And I'm gonna put that on my lid. And then I'm going to feather this. I'm gonna mix this in all the way up kind of to my eyebrow basically. And I might use this to, you know, deepen it up a little bit. We'll have to see how 80s it looks. I'm going to do my eyebrows first though. And for that, I'm just going to use a little bit of this. This one? Yeah, this one. This is the Eco Soul shading palette. I'm just going to use this to fill in a tiny bit because I don't feel like doing the whole pencil thing. I'm just going to use my good old trusty Florasis brush. Dip it a little bit there. I just want a quick fill, nothing crazy. The eyebrow trends in the 80s were like they flip-flopped a lot between like more natural bushier brows and like thinner, more pencil-like brows. So I wasn't sure which of the two to do. So I just figured I'd brush a little bit of color through my brows and then like brush them out, and that would be good enough. This is not ashy enough for my brows, but oh well. Now I'm literally just gonna use this to, because this is, you know, the kind of tool that would have been used back then. I don't think brow pomades or soap brows or anything were really a trend in the 80s. I could be really off base there, but I don't think so. There we go. Now, the eyes. So I'm going to just put on a little bit of this putty primer. This is the white one. The white will help the colors pop. I'm gonna go all the way up to my eye blue. This one feels like it's getting a little dry too. That's the problem that I have with these. Like the eye primers specifically, they dry out super quick. I don't use these that often because I don't always want a pigmented eye base. But when I do, I would like it to not be dried out. I'm not exactly sure how they would fix that. sweet. I think I'm just gonna go straight in with the with this that it comes with, because that's what you would have used in the 80s. Just like whatever little sponge applicator that came with it. So I'm gonna go into the white, and then I'm gonna go into the blue. I'm just gonna go back and forth a couple times. Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right, I'm really gonna pack it on here though. The fallout with this thing, by the way, horrible. The problem with these is that, like, I'm really scrubbing it in, and most of it is just staying attached, like it's grinding its way into the little spongy bit, and it's like it's just caking on there, and it's not coming off onto my eyeball. So that's pretty annoying. But I wanted to apply it the way one would in the 80s. There's so much caked on there. It's just it's like such a waste of product. Now if I wanted to, I could just leave it like this. I think I'm going to use the other side of the applicator and just like blend a bit. Cool. Now I'm going to use this cleanish side, and I'm going to go into the pink one and just kind of like fade that out above it. Literally nothing's coming off. Sponge applicators have their uses. This is not one of them. I love it. Man, this is what I love about makeup. It's fun. Do I look like I just stepped out of a Revlon ad from 1983? I hope so. Now I'm going to run some of the darker blue here. I'm going to use a brush for that. No, I'm not. I'm going to use this. I'm going to run some of the darker blue and use it as like an eyeliner along my top and bottom lashes. Just because when in Rome. Yep. That's the stuff. So I finished with the eyeliner. I think this looks freaking awesome, personally. This, by the way, is freaking amazing. The eyeshadows with the little sponge thing you're given, the eyeshadows are actually a little difficult to apply. It's hard to get full pigment because like so much, because of the way the sponge applicator is, because of how it picks up product. A lot of the product just stays plastered and smushed to the actual applicator, and like you don't get a lot of the product on your eye initially. You know, a lot of layering was required to get this, but I get the feeling that if I used a brush with these, they'd work just fine. Next is mascara. Black brown. Yeah, that's what I want. This one is black. This one's a black brown. I'm gonna use this one. I get the feeling that brown mascara was quite popular in the 80s. Especially like if you have naturally lighter hair, if you have a lighter skin tone, and therefore have lighter eyebrows and eyelashes. I get the feeling that a brown mascara would be the more popular thing to use. Colored mascaras were also a big thing. I don't have any of those, but the closest thing I have is this black brown mascara. This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, so I'm going to give them a quick curl. Beautiful. Just the right amount of clump. Blush. Blush was a big thing in the 80s. Back then, like bronzer and contour weren't really like a huge thing. It was all about the blush. They kind of overused blush in like the most glorious way to kind of contour. So a lot of the pictures I saw, there was a lot of blush concentrated right around here. Many times it was like the blush came all the way up to the temple. That was more of like more of a pop star trend. A more wearable everyday blush would be right around here, and like they would use blush like to sculpt the cheekbone as well. So blush kind of all around here, like the hollow between my jaw and my cheekbone would be if I had one. So that's where I'm going to be concentrating most of the blush, just kind of like right there. So I have 3 blushes here. I have these 2 from the Saem. This is the one that I used in my cherry blossom makeup look video. It's a nice, it's a really pretty baby coral. This is one I haven't used yet. This is a darker one. I think this one's called like Dusty Rose or something. It's Red 05. And it's a bit darker. It's got a little bit more of a brown tone to it. That was a horrible swatch. Oh my goodness. Let me fix that. There we go. There's the darker one. Here's Baby Coral. It's a lot pinker. And then I have the glorious blush that came in the Florasis palette. This guy right here. This one also has a little bit of shimmer to it, which I did not notice before. Right there. You can see a little bit of shimmer in it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in real lightly with this one and maybe deepen it up with this one. That's my plan. I cannot get over this palette every time I see it. Just look at it. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna really go in. My face is too round, but my cheekbone is up here and my jaw starts down here, obviously. So somewhere in the middle is where a person would contour. Oh. So I'm going to wipe off my brush because that was quite a bit. Yeah. Yikes. And start blending. And I'm gonna blend mostly up. Mostly whoosh, up like that. Oh, that's a lot of blush. Wow. The 80s was all about excessive blush, so here it goes. Well, that kind of worked. Alrighty. I've just taken all of my doohickeys out, all my little space bones, because it's still a little damp. You know, I want it to dry as much as possible. That I'm going to brush it out, make it real fluffy, and then stick it on top of my head with a scrunchie. That is the plan. Because the 80s were all about the big hair, and I have fairly thin hair. What I also don't have is like a curling iron, so this was the only way I could really think of to get that curl into my hair, so that I could immediately ruin that curl by brushing it and back combing it and sticking it on top of my head with a scrunchie. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, let's apply some lipstick, shall we? I got 2 here. I have this one from Wet n Wild. This is Dark Pink Frost. It's a frosted pink lipstick, which is a lot harder to find than I thought it would be. So I'm going to swatch this one. Oh yeah. That one looks pretty much identical to the eyeshadow I got going on up here. Just a little bit darker. And this one, which it's called Pink Promise by Revlon. It's one of their cream lipsticks. I bought both of these specifically for this video, by the way, because I do not wear lipstick like this. Look at that. Baby. So that is Pink Promise. I'm really leaning towards that one. Maybe I should just layer them. Should I layer them? I'm gonna layer them. So that we got the pink of this with a little bit of frosted. You know, we've got frosted everything else. Might as well frost the lips, right? And I'm literally just going to I'm not gonna overdraw my lips or anything. I'm literally just going to follow my natural lip line. Good old Revlon. Now just a touch of the frosted one. This is giving me more 80s than I ever knew I wanted. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing my hair and pick some earrings. I'm not sure. I got a couple options here. I need to make up my mind on that, and then I'll be back and the look will be complete. Are you guys even ready for this? Because I wasn't when I looked in the mirror. Pay no attention to the catastrophe behind me. That needs to be fixed. Oh, I love it so much. I picked a green scrunchie. I found the biggest pair of earrings that I have. This turned out way better than I thought it would. I thought this would be a total train wreck. My hair is an absolute mess from the back, but we're not looking at the back. We're focusing on the front. I also, just so you know, have my old school Nintendo t-shirt on. I think I did pretty well. I think I did pretty well. I look like I just walked out of The Wedding Singer or something. There's so many things going on, and I love every single one of them. e.l.f., thank you for inspiring this makeup look. I had a fun time, and for me, that's one of the most important things about makeup, just having fun and experimenting and just, like, enjoying yourself. This is definitely not something that I would wear on a daily basis, but dude, at the end of the day, I had so much fun doing this video. I hope you guys had fun as well. If you did, please consider giving this video a big ol' thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. I have no idea which color I want to use. And there's like this one down here that reminds me so much of the 90s, like this velour type material in that specific color, like, I don't know, like a dusty burgundy color. So many memories come flooding back whenever I, like the memories are so triggered when I see this color. Anyway, that's for later. Or should I not? I don't know. I don't think things through before I start filming. Where's the fun in that? Peel to open. How am I supposed to open it now, e.l.f.? Dang it. They wanna have fun. Are you focused? Hello? Oh. I completely lost you now. Hello? Where did you go? Hello? Where's my other mascara? Did I take it out? Oh no! Lash Paradise? Hello? Haha. That's how I clean off my brushes. Just... not really, but today it is. Now just a touch of the frozen. I'm ill-prepared. Why would I plan for these things? By the way, if you can hear that, that's just my stomach singing you all this song of its people. The I want food song. Patience.